You should probably avoid high intensity exercise in the 4 hours before your intended sleep time.
Is there an optimal amount or timing of exercise to benefit sleep?
Yeah. So again, I think we probably don't know the answer to that yet. But one of the interesting things I think, that we've historically told people is to avoid strenuous exercise just before sleep. And when I was having a think about that before our conversation today, I actually found a paper that was published this year in Nature Communications about strenuous exercise just before sleep, which I thought was really interesting because I've been saying this personally as a clinician for quite some time. When individuals ask me about timing of exercise, I say, do it when you enjoy it, but probably don't do strenuous exercise just before bedtime. And so this study looked at nearly 15,000 individuals. Now, bear in mind, again, just for your listeners thinking about how to apply that to themselves, these were already physically active individuals, okay? And they got these individuals to wear a biometric study device for a year. And what they found was that if the individuals were doing their exercise later and it was higher strain, so it was sort of high intensity exercise, whether that be weight training or aerobic, higher intensity training later on, that did seem to delay sleep onset. So it did seem to increase the time taken to fall asleep. It did seem to be associated with shorter sleep duration, lower sleep quality. And when they looked at exercise taking place 4 or more hours before sleep, that didn't seem to be associated with any negative changes in sleep. So I think that bears out the advice that we've given for quite a long time, which I'm not really sure had a particularly good evidence base, but that does bear it out, which is that if you're doing particularly intense exercise, you're probably best to try and avoid doing that in the 4 hours before sleep. That's not the same as if you're doing yoga, Tai Chi, sort of these mind body relaxation exercises, but you should probably avoid high intensity exercise in the 4 hours before your intended sleep time. So I think that was just an important thing, and a very very recent publication and quite a large amount of data for that study.
Okay, then for someone who's currently sedentary, what would be a good kind of starting point, a good starting exercise routine specifically to improve sleep?
So I think again, it's about adapting the exercise to your preference and your needs. But, for those of you who are thinking, gosh, maybe I need to sort of start doing hit training 5 times a week or going to the gym and pumping iron, there's good quality evidence for Pilates and there's good quality evidence for some resistance training and walking. And so it doesn't have to be, super strenuous Ironman type exercise training. You really can start with quite simple things and know that that is going to bring about um, benefits in terms of your sleep quality.